In this video, we are going to walk through how to self-fulfill your print orders from your clients, from your galleries. This sort of like goes, I guess, in competition with or in supplement to lab integration, which was another video that we had here. A lot of photographers are interested in obviously selling prints and using galleries and Sprout to give their clients this really beautiful sort of tour through their images and let their clients purchase prints. But some photographers either just don't want to work with the labs that currently integrate with Sprout, or want to have more control and want to do their own printing or want to use separate labs for different things. Some photographers will even want to print their own photos themselves. I know at my own studio, I've got an Epson 3880. I can print up to 17 inches wide, and I love to do some of my own prints because it's quick, it's easy, and I have complete control over the quality of my prints, and I've got all of the settings and everything dialed in. So whatever reason you might have for wanting to self-fulfill your prints, we wanted to build tools within Sprout for you to make it streamlined and to make it easy. So even though you're not integrating with a lab, we wanted to pull in the same tools, the same workflow, that same approval and review process that you have for labs. We wanted to give that to you for self-fulfill. See, I remember there being many times, many seasons where in my studio, we were running busy holiday sessions. We were running sales for the fall or the springtime, whatever the case was. And it wasn't uncommon for me to be having 10, 15, 20, 30 print orders at a time that are just running through the studio, and trying to manage all of that with sticky notes or with pieces of paper or even just in the top of our heads can really be overwhelming. And so what I used to do was print out a copy of the print order, and I would have it there. I'd have the file names, I'd have the size that the client had ordered a print of. And when I'd get into retouching, I would go in there and I would open up the file in Photoshop and I'd say, okay, they ordered this size. I'd go and do the cropping, do all that. I'd kind of check it off and be like, okay, good to go. Moving on to the next one, moving on to the next one. And I would go through that. And then when the entire sheet was done, I'd be like, okay, good to go. I've now moved that into my, to order folder, and I can move on to the next print order. And I would go through it that way. Now that worked, and that was really great. And that's how I was able to make it so that nothing slipped through the cracks and all my clients got what they had ordered. But we wanted to build tools when we built lab integration for you to be able to do that via Sprout in a much more streamlined way. So we're kind of throwing out the piece of paper and introducing a little bit of technology with that. So with all that being said, that's a big preface. Let's run through how all this works now in the back end of Sprout. So I have a gallery open here, same gallery we've been working with together for all of these videos here in Sprout School. I'm going to go ahead and open that gallery, and we're going to jump right into the portraits of this gallery. And there we go. And let's go ahead and order some prints. Why are you still there? So I'm going to click order on this image. Now I've got my prints over here. So I have photo print, fine art print, framed print, canvas gallery. I have digital files and then press printed cards here. These are all self-fulfilled prints. They're not lab prints. So if I just flip back over here into the back end of Sprout and go into settings and open up my price list, we're just going to quickly review what this is looking like. These are all self-fulfilled prints. Here's all the settings for them. Here's all the prices for them, so on and so forth. So they're all in here and they're all self-fulfilled prints. So we're going to go back into here and let's go ahead and just do some simple orders. I'm going to order 2 4x6s of this one. And I'm going to go keep shopping. I'm going to scroll on down. Let's order a 4x6 of this one. We'll keep going. And let's order a 4x6 print of that one. And then maybe now your client is looking for that one beautiful masterpiece, the one that kind of goes up on the wall. Let's maybe choose this one. We're going to go framed print on this one. And I'm going to make this a nice 16 by 24. There we go. We can kind of see what the matting would look like. Super pretty. Maybe I'll choose that frame. No, maybe I'll go with that one. I think that one looks nice. Go wide matting on that. Look how pretty that is. I love that. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and click order. And so now I've ordered that. So let's say that now I'm good. You know what? I lied. Let's do one more print. Let's do one more. I love this one. Let's do that one as a photo print. but let's do that one as an 8x10. There we go. Now let's just, again, as the client, we have the ability to adjust crop here. The client cannot zoom it in, but they can adjust the positioning of the crop. So we'll press that, and let's go ahead and click Add to Cart. And that's it. So now let's go over here. There's my cart. Let's click Finalize Order, and I can review this here. Your client can add notes here. Can you please retouch the stray hair here? They can also, don't mind this is just Grammarly that I've got installed in my browser that's doing that. You can see the quantity here. They can adjust that in here. They can also add a note globally to the order over here. Otherwise, they can review this and they can go ahead and click Checkout. And now the client's going to go ahead and check out. This is where they can choose their payment method, and that's all specified in the gallery itself. If I flip back into the back end of Sprout here, go into the galleries, and we open this up right here and go settings. You can see under the selling section, there's payment methods. If I click that, that shows the 3 payment methods. And actually, while I'm here, the one shipping method that you saw I just chose, that was pickup. That's the only one that I have chosen here. So that's why it was the only option that was presented to them. And close that. And let's go ahead and choose check. We'll continue, and we'll finalize the order now. I'll click continue. And at this point now, the order has been created. This is the invoice for the client to view. They can see everything. They see what file numbers they ordered. They can see thumbnails of everything. They can see a full description of what they ordered. Again, really beautiful presentation here for your client. If I go into the back end of Sprout here, I will have received a notification. And there it is right there. I will have also received an email notification with details on the order, but now I can open up this order and review all the details. So similar to how we did this for lab fulfillment, these are all self-fulfillment prints because they weren't for a lab item. And so I have this little self-fulfillment panel over here, and there's basically 3 steps. First, you have to review it, and then it's approved. And then once you're ready, you can go ahead and ship the order. So the first thing to review is you can open up, and again, this is very similar to what we did for lab orders. You can open it up, you can skip it, you can review the notes the client made for you, you can get the file name, you can edit this, so you can adjust the crop, you can replace it, you can rotate it, you can do whatever you need to do here. Again, this is where I love the idea of just using your proofs for your galleries, and then now taking these files, retouching them, and then replacing them with a new retouched file. So you can do that, and then you go ahead, and once you're done that, you press approve, and you're good to go on this specific item. So this one now will show up as approved, and it's all good to go. Now, the other way that you can go through this is instead of going through the line items here, you can actually click this process order button. And what that's going to give you is this really big, beautiful full screen window to run through and work on the images. Again, this is sort of similar to when I would have that print order printed out in front of me and I'd just be going through one at a time. You can do it that way here in Sprout, or go into the full screen process order window and just kind of run through, go next, review this, edit it, upload new files. When you're done, click approve. Next one, same thing, go through, check out what's going on, look at it, and approve. Now, this is one that I want to sort of note. This is giving me a warning saying that the file that I have uploaded for the print size that I have here is too low resolution. So this is where I would want to go and make sure I grab a proper resolution file and upload that proper one here. So I'm just going to I'm going to still keep it, but assume that you're going to go ahead and properly upload the right file for this one here. And we're going to go ahead and click approve on that one. And now we are all good. So the entire order at this point is now approved. And you can see over here, it went from to review to now approved. You can see when it was approved right here, and we are all good to go. So now what you can do is you can go and download these files. You can order these from your lab. You can do whatever you want to do, print them at your own studio. And once you've shipped, you can press the ship order button. We'll show that to you in just a moment. Before I do that, I want to show you, this is probably my favorite tool that we built for you, and that is this zip generator. So if I actually click this zip button right here, this is just giving me a warning of what's about to happen. I'm going to go ahead and press save. What's going to happen now is Sprout's going to go through each one of these items here in the order. It's going to take a look at the cropping that you had specified. It's going to take a look at the original image. It's going to take a look at the size of the print, and it's going to basically organize all this for you, put them into separate files, into separate folders, so it's all ready for you to print. So whether you use your own lab, whether you print these yourself in your own studio, it keeps this all nice and organized, and it's really easy for you to now fulfill this and order these prints and get them finalized. So now that that zip file has generated, I'm going to go ahead and click the download button here. And what that's going to do again is download a zip file that Sprout has already prepared for me with all of those files cropped, sized, and properly organized into folders for me here. And there we can see we have the folders. So we have the folder of 4x6s, and there's the individual items. And the one that is quantity 2 says quantity 2 on it. The other ones are all good. These are all cropped as well, by the way, is the way I had cropped it in the gallery, or in the order, sorry. And if I go back, there's my 8x10 already all set up and cropped the way that I had cropped it in the order. And there's my 16x24 already all set up and cropped properly. So everything is now organized. All I'd have to do is go into my lab rows system or whatever I use to order my lab prints from, and literally drag this folder over and order those as 4x6s, and order that as 8x10s, and order these as 16x24s. And same thing if I were just to do the prints myself in my own studio. I would just go in there, drag them to an action that I have in Photoshop to go ahead and print them. So that's kind of how we made this as easy as possible to keep things organized for you, to keep the files properly cropped and sized, and everything is all good to go here. Now, once I've done that and I'm ready to, ship the prints to my client, so I've ordered them, I've printed them, and they've come in, I've packaged them, I'm good to go. I can come back over here to the order. I can click the ship button. I can specify here who I'm shipping with and what the tracking number is if I'd like to, and go ahead and press the ship button. And then I can press the send email button to open up the details to send to my client. Now, the email that gets chosen for here, as we've kind of gone through quite a few times here in the Sprout School course, is this will use the default email that I have specified for shipping in the orders. And so that's how you do self-fulfilled orders in Sprout Studio. Again, we tried to do as much as we could to keep the process simple, to keep you organized, to keep things streamlined, and that way you can print your files the way that you would like to, print your orders the way that you'd like to, and not get bogged down with all the minutia, and make sure that things don't slip through the cracks.